Hey everybody, Merry Christmas from Elite Action Joe Studios, from me and Jameson and Emma, my wife, my other kids who don't partake in the channel, and of course from Little Dexter. Christmas time. This is my shirt from last Christmas. We have a tradition where we all wear the same pajamas on Christmas Eve. Daddle is what Emma started calling me when she was about 5 or 6, and it's still today. Everybody calls me that now. It's pretty funny, but anyway. But what's Christmas about? Yes, the birth of Jesus. Remember that. But also, for me as a kid, it's also about the adventure team. Many of my Christmases, I got adventure team figures. GI Joes were my #1 thing that I wanted every year under the tree. And Mego figures, I'll say that. I did have a lot of Mego. Me and Adam from GI Joe Chronicles were just talking about Mego because Logic Blaster has me going crazy because I want to start collecting Mego again, but I'm not getting off subject. So, this is a small portion of my my figures. The figures and uniforms are all vintage. Of course, I've talked about this before. I like the reproduction boxes. And I've also talked about how I'm sort of a historian, so I always like to know where I got my GI Joes. So real quick, in the 1990s at some point, I can't remember, because I was on a big drinking binge, I think, but I got the Man of Action in the wrong uniform, but I don't care, in Saginaw, Michigan, when I was working up there for the airlines. This one is very special to me. This is mine from my childhood. I know he has the wrong uniform, but that's because I had a bunch of them, and I switched because I like this one better instead of the denim, Sea Adventure uniform. So I kept it in one that I had when I found him in the attic. The Land Adventure I got in Memphis in 2002 when I was living there at a little antique store. And then the Air Adventure, I picked him up when I was working for the airlines in Little Rock, Arkansas. In 96 or 97, I don't really remember because I was there through sort of a long period. But anyways, these are some of my favorites, and of course he's my favorite. No offense, fellas. But the reason I'm here, besides Christmas and the adventure team, is I've always had a theory. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever thought about this. If you guys get into Christmas, which I'm sure you do, I'm sure you guys have similar stories from your childhood. But I always had a hunch that the first adventure, the first GI Joe adventure team idea came around the same time as the original GI Joe in 1964. Because there's a very forgotten adventurer that I think started it all. I think somebody went back and said, I have an idea for GI Joe adventure team. Because one of the greatest adventures of all time, and I hope you guys agree, is of course Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, if this guy doesn't scream adventure team, now here's the funny part, that movie came out in 1964, so it was around. So I'm thinking when they got into 68, started thinking about adventures instead of the soldiering thing, I think they watched Rudolph and said, I got an idea.
I was going to say, even...
Does he look like anybody you know? Yeah, that's right.
Look, even remember his thing was blue.
You know what I mean? I mean, maybe it's just me. But I have thought this since I was a kid, that Yukon Cornelius was one of the first adventure team members. And isn't it funny? You see these right here? These are Emma's. She lets me keep them down here on the shelves. She loves dogs, but these are vintage, original sled dogs? Oh, where have we seen a sled dog team before? Yes, that's right. Yukon Cornelius. Was he the inspiration for the sled dog team? I think he was. So, give me your opinion on this. Could I be onto something? Did you ever have that thought yourself?
Or does he just need to take off the tinfoil Santa hat?
Oh, it's on. This guy is definitely, if he's not, then he goes on one of the greatest adventurer things of all time because he's phenomenal. He's awesome. When they came out with this line of figures, I was so psyched. I bought almost all of them. And then, as you remember, I was robbed and almost my whole collection wiped out. Luckily, I had him on a shelf, but I had all the Rudolph toys that went with this series. I'm hoping one day to find him in package. And also, of course, I need the Abominable Snowman. What? The Abominable Snowman? That's right. One of the first adventure sets, remember, with the dog sled adventure. It's all starting to process now, isn't it, people? Process. But they made a Abominable. It's kind of almost a plush, but he was about that big to the figure. That I got to hunt down. They're super expensive on eBay. I'm always looking for them at sales and stuff, but I've never. So he's my lone figure. At one point I had a little Adventure Team sticker on him, but it fell off, and I don't have the right size now. But that's just something that always comes to my mind this time of year at Christmas. As I often think of Adventure Team, I always remember Yukon Cornelius. And if you haven't watched the movie, you should. I'm sure you all have, at least most of you. There's some younger guys out there that may not have, but this guy, Adventure, takes on the Abominable Snowman. Just him and his sled dog team. It's quite a battle. Check it out. Anyways, I will keep it to that. Reflect on it. Enjoy your Christmas. Hopefully something similar to this is under your tree and you have a fantastic and wonderful Christmas with your family. Remember, that's what it's really all about, family, and just bask in the moment. And then when you're done basking and exchanging gifts and loving your family, remember this discussion and get back to me on your thoughts.
And if you haven't seen the original Rudolph, then there's just something wrong with you. Just, if you've been living in a rock.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, now sadly he didn't come back in the second one. In the Shiny New Year, he was left out. But later on, he did come back in one, and the name eludes me. But they don't play that one every year because people are trying to get rid of Christmas. Bring that shit on. Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little. Sorry. You guys agree with me, Adam, Cody, Jeff, Scott. You guys agree, right?
The live viewer audience.
Christmas is about Jesus, Santa, and GI Joe. And, of course, the original adventure teamer, Yukon Cornelius. I'll leave it at that. Merry Christmas! Till the next one!